Come Santa Claus, come Santa Claus.
Hello my peeps and welcome back to the channel. Now, to start off this year's holiday season right, I figured we gotta get something super viral, something that can possibly make me look a little bit more like Santa, and try out some recipes from the man, the myth, the legend, Zach Choi. Also known as the deep fried American cheese man, I made the mistake of summoning him and some of his viewers in my last video, and if you are unfamiliar, let me just try to put this into perspective for you. The sheer number of views that this guy gets is pretty much unfathomable. He averages more than Nick DiGiovanni, Joshua Weissman, Binging with Babish combined. One of his videos basically has 200 million views, so the equivalent of 1 in 40 humans on this planet has seen this video. And today, we're gonna try to figure out what all the hype is about by testing out his deep-fried Cheeto mozzarella donuts, these very interesting looking pickled cucumber planks, and then finishing it off with the deep-fried, bacon-wrapped American cheese donut. This shit is exactly what I imagine my doctor thinks I eat on the daily when I tell him what I do for a living and then he sees my blood counts. And I guess today we are making it happen for real, so let's just get right into this one. Okay, as I mentioned, we are gonna be starting out with the deep-fried Cheeto mozzarella stick donut. I grabbed some Cheetos and flour, some shredded mozzarella cheese and fresh basil, some olive oil, San Marzanos and butter, a fresh onion, salt and pepper, a couple eggs, and garlic. Before I go in on Zach any harder, I do want to give him a little bit of credit. He gets an insane amount of views. Every video of his goes viral with pretty simple and straightforward recipes. With the exception of leaving the cucumbers in the pickling brine for a couple of hours, none of the foods we're gonna make today takes over an hour. They should all be done pretty quickly. And now that that's all out of the way, god damn does this guy grind my gears. If you haven't before, I beg that you scroll down his TikTok. It is quite a heck of a journey. I do have to warn you though, as stated, he is known for his obsession with American cheese, with deep frying things, with specifically cylindrical shaped donut things. Very much like that automatic salivation response that your mouth gets as soon as you look at a warhead or a sour candy. I literally feel my internal organs screaming whenever I watch most of his videos. Which leads me to my next point. There is absolutely no way that this guy even finishes a single bite, much less the entire food as he presents in the video. But I get it, that's what gets the views, that super satisfying sounding crunchy bite, making it look like you're eating the whole thing like a mukbang. After all, I would assume that is a much better formula to make a viral video rather than some of his older videos where he shows you his genuine reaction to some of this trash. That right there is a look of pure pain and agony, my friends. Out of everything I've complained about so far, sorry about that by the way, I think the thing that irks me the most is how talented this guy is. He's clearly so insanely skilled at both cooking and content creation, and yet he elects to use those skills for making such dog excrement. He knows that nobody has ever or will ever make the majority of this stuff, besides this idiot in front of your face. But I guess it's just that uniqueness that is the #1 draw for his page. It's stuff that you won't see anywhere else, that is for sure. But for this recipe, I had to whip up a quick homemade marinara sauce. You have to form your mozzarella cheese in the donut mold, coat them all in your flour, eggs, and blended Cheetos, and then deep fry them. The Tums and the lactate are out, the EMS is on standby. Let's start giving these things a try. I gotta give it to him. That is a Cheeto mozzarella stick donut, if I've ever seen one. Gotta get the nice dip, just like the TikTok. Now! What? Oh yeah. This could kill somebody. They're very good. They taste pretty much exactly as you would expect them to. I will say they suffer from the same issue as other deep fried things, whether it's chips, Cheetos in this case. When you deep fry a chip like that with powdered coating, it completely loses its flavor. You have to either sprinkle more on after they come out of the oil or just straight up cheddar cheese powder. But if you close your eyes and bit this, you would just think this was a mozzarella stick. The sauce is very delicious. It's plain, but I would use it on pizza, on pasta. Would definitely recommend you trying that out. And although I would recommend these two, do not eat more than one in a single sitting because I don't want any hospital bills sent my way. Next up, in a slight break from the artery jammers, I elected to try out his Sprite pickled cucumber strips. You will need some Sprite and salt, white vinegar and English cucumbers, a little bit of sugar, fresh garlic, and some fresh chilies. I am very sorry if you're let down that I tried to pick a little bit of a variation of recipes from this guy's page. It couldn't all just be deep fried cheese, but we will get back there in a second. For right now, this is a very simple recipe that brought in 23 million views on its own, and you have to very thinly slice or even peel your very long cucumbers, and then submerge them in a blend of your white vinegar, your Sprite, some fresh garlic, a little bit of the salt and sugar, and then let them sit overnight in the fridge for at least 12 hours, but I would imagine these are fine for up to a couple days. I do have to admit that these things look very intriguing. This is something I would try out in any other normal video on this channel. I've also never pickled anything in mostly Sprite, so I'm interested to see how that kind of plays with all the other flavors. But with that said, it is time to try out Zach Choi recipe number 2. My candle blew out. Should I try to do the exact same twirly thing that he did to get it up on the chopstick? Well. Okay. That's pretty fun, I won't lie. I enjoyed these. They're pretty tasty. They kind of just taste like a very mild bread and butter pickle. They're not overly sweet if you kind of expected that from all that soda. I'm a little bit indifferent on the cuts on these. I feel like if you left them for any longer than a day or two, they might have a tendency to get a little slimy feeling. But right now, these are delicious. It's been about 18 hours since I started brining them, and I would gladly eat these on the side of basically any sandwich. Maybe on the side of a nice cold noodle dish too, so I have no issue with these. And lastly, and probably also least, we've got the bacon-wrapped, deep-fried American cheese donut tower. I don't know. All you will need is some flour and panko breadcrumbs, bacon, a lot of American cheese, salt and pepper, and a couple of eggs. And of course, I feel I would be remiss if I didn't do the following. So here we are, we've arrived to the main event, these types of recipes that this guy is most known for. I had to choose between this one and that other insanely tall American cheese tower that he just deep fried. I chose this one because I figured it had more to it. And it perfectly exemplifies one of the other biggest issues I have with this guy's recipes, the bacon, and the way that it is cooked, or should I say lack thereof, but I will save that rant for the taste test in a couple minutes. But once I got my cheese stacked up, hollowed out, and then wrapped in the bacon, this monster gets coated in some flour, eggs, and panko this time. And then, because I want to try to cook the insides of this as much as I can, I'm gonna fry this at 325 for about 15 to 20 minutes, as long as I can keep this in there without burning it. Could I have pre-cooked the bacon or thrown this in the oven to cook it through more? Yes, but he does not. So instead, I just pulled it out, cut into the damn thing. I am not looking forward to eating this one. To nobody's surprise, the inside still looks like the bacon was freshly peeled out of the package. But I'm gonna hold back my dry heaving and attempt to give this a fair shot. This is fun. Absolutely not. At least it's an accurate representation of what he does after every bite he takes, too. I already know what a bunch of you are gonna say. In a lot of cultures, bacon is eaten raw, and it's perfectly fine to eat out of the package. You know, it's already smoked and pre-treated. I don't care. This looks like it was just freshly carved off the back of a swine. And even if it is barely safe to eat, why would you want this texture in your mouth? This straight, oof. It's like a demented rubber band bungee cord. You could use this in the back of your damn pickup truck to strap down your Christmas tree. Do not make this, don't waste your time. Make the other two recipes if you so choose. And to all the other comments that are gonna say that this is a big old waste of food, yeah, I would agree with you. I have nothing else to say to that.
With the M without the AD. Flipping burgers and my money super lazy. Try and make a meal tonight, they ain't paying me. Try and supersize my life with my 18. Yeah, our style wasn't wavy, but we had a vision.